Barbell row. Now I do this exercise either heavy or light. When I do it light, I'm going very slow. I'm isolating what specific part of my back I want to build, which is usually the lower lats. And then sometimes I go heavy. So this is like a medium heavy weight because I keep going up in weight. And I'm going to show you how my form is because I kind of cheat it. And one of the things I like to do with a heavy row like this is I like to do just 6 reps and then a shorter rest and another 6 reps and a shorter rest with heavier weight. So here's how my form is. Now if I put my arms closer together and I pull in lower to my hips, I can isolate my lower lats. If I go wider, it starts working my mid and upper lats, but my mid and upper lats are more than adequate. For even the professional bodybuilding stage, my mid and outer lats are adequate. So I really need to work my lower lats. So watch how I pull the weight into my hips and I put my hands closer together and I arch my back backwards. I'm pulling with my lower lats. And actually I will stop short of failure and rest a little bit and do it again because with this exercise, I'm trying to just get the maximum amount of poundage in. So I like to do heavy weight, high volume, with just enough rest. So I'm using mainly ATP for fuel. And then in later exercises, I'll move to the 12 rep range, 15 rep range, and I'll do more isolation exercises. So see, I did a short rest and then I hit it again. Trevor, any comments about it?
Yeah, so you can't see his back on the contraction, but what he's trying to say too, so when you're putting your hands out and you're pulling them together, you're contracting in this way. So yes, your middle back is what's going to be contracting. The other thing you don't see from the back is where his shoulders are. So by locking his shoulders in place like we would on a bench press, not only are you keeping this holding the weight, but then when you're contracting, you're not utilizing anything else for contraction. Suicide grip is another method of doing this for a little more isolation, but you can see in his back, if you go around on the behind him.
Oh, so that's true. The suicide grip doing an underhand will actually isolate my lats much better, but it's harder on my shoulders and my elbows. So I sacrifice a little bit of the contraction in favor of being able to do a little bit more weight and have it be a little bit more comfortable with a little less risk of injury.
Yeah, the last thing, tip that I would say to this, and we preach this kind of on every movement and exercise, is doing partial reps versus full completion reps. When doing back, when you're trying to build mass, and for overall mass, doing the last part and the finishing part of the movement is the contraction. That's the most important part, the squeeze of your back. Without the squeeze, you don't really do much other than the stretch position, which is important, but you're not taking advantage of it. So when you do a full complete rep, typically you want to start doing those towards a contest when you're really trying to bring fiber and shape out. But when you're trying to build more mass, you still want to incorporate them both. But that's what's going to give you the overall mass. You really want to focus on just the contraction, not necessarily going down here. You do this, you can also roll your shoulder, get injured, but you're taking so much of the stress off, and then your bicep takes over trying to pull from this, and then you can actually pull your bicep as well.
One thing I really enjoy doing with this, but a lot of people would disagree, is I like doing like what I said, like 6 reps or even 4 to 6 reps with shorter rests until I can't really move the weight anymore. And then I take a long 5-minute break, and then I come back again and I fully have my strength. And with that same weight, I could do 10 reps. And some people would say that's kind of overtraining because you should be just doing one exercise to sort of failure and then move on to the next exercise. You don't need to dig deeper. But for me, and how much muscle I have and how many fibers I have to activate, that technique works really well. So I'll do my sets in clusters with an exercise like this. I'll do a bunch of sets with short rests, and then I'll take a very big rest and I'll come back to it and go heavier and harder for a short burst at the end.